All right, so we are on chapter 10.6, measuring length. We're kind of just started in the middle of this chapter because a while back we did the other part of this chapter. So right now we're going to work on measuring length. Here the essential question says, how can you generate measurement data and show the data on a line plot? So, you've learned how to measure length to the nearest inch, which we've done before. We went around the room and we measured different objects. Sometimes the length of an object is not a whole unit. For example, a paper clip is more than an inch but less than 2 inches. You can measure length to the nearest half inch or fourth inch. So right here you can see that. You can measure to the nearest half inch or fourth. So it's broken up into fractions. The half inch markings on a ruler divide each inch into 2 equal parts. The fourth inch markings divide each inch into 4 equal parts. So here's when they divided it into 2 equal parts. And then up here they did it in 4 equal parts. So example 1, use a ruler to measure the glue stick to the nearest half inch. Alright, so right now we see that we have a glue stick. It says line up the left end of the glue stick with the 0 mark on the ruler. So right here, even though it doesn't say 0, it is our 0. Okay? It won't have a 0 on the ruler, but we just have to know that the front of the ruler, right before the 1 where that mark is, that's 0. Now, the right end of the glue stick is between the half inch marks for 2 numbers. So it's between our half inch. So right here is our half inch. So right here it's a half, 1.5, 2.5. Okay, so right now, what 2 marks is my glue stick, the right end of the glue stick in between? So it is between 2 and 2.5. Okay. The mark that is closest to the right end of the glue stick is 4. So is it closer to 2.5 or is it closer to that 2? We know it's closer to 2.5. So the length of the glue stick to the nearest half inch is 2.5 inches. Alright, now we're going to go over to example 2. Example 2 is our using our nearest to the fourth inch. So, step 1, line up the left end of the paper clip with the 0 mark on the ruler. So remember, even though it's not a 0, it doesn't say 0, it is our 0. The right end of the paper clip is between the fourth inch marks 4. So remember, look up here. We know that this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And even though that's a 1, it's our whole, so it's 4/4. And then we have 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4. And then we have 2 1/4, 2/4. Okay, you don't have to do that, but it is helpful. So right now, the right end of the paper clip is between the fourth inch marks 4. So it's between 1 2/4 and 1 3/4. Because we see that dotted line, it's in between those two. So now the mark that is closest to the right end of the paper clip is 4. So which side is this dotted line closest to? Is it closest to 1 2/4? Or, you cannot see there. Is it closer to 1 2/4 or is it closer to 1 3/4? I would say it is closest to 1 3/4. So the length of the paper clip to the nearest fourth inch is 1 3/4 inches. Now I want you guys to do your, don't worry about this unless you have crayons at home. You can go ahead and make that graph. But you can go ahead and do pages 594, 595, and 596. Have fun!